Cool. So this is the ceramics department, or at least this is the kiln room. So in ceramics, we have a lot of different kinds of resources for finishing your projects. So this is just one sample of the different spaces we have. We have a variety of different kinds of kilns, so both gas and electric. These ones over here are called carbide kilns. So the reason for that is because the bottoms of them will actually come out all the way, which is really convenient when you're working with really large sculptures. And this is the main hallway space for ceramics. So on the back left, this rack over here is where you can actually leave your projects to be fired by graduate students and other student workers. You actually don't have to do that final part of the process yourself. You can just leave it on these racks and they'll be back to you within the week. And some of the resources on our right, this space over here is the Glaze Lab. So they have both already pre-made glazes as well as the chemicals used to actually make them from scratch. So in your classes, they're going to be teaching you just like the normal way that students would be making glazes, but they also give you complete freedom to experiment and do things that maybe are considered the wrong way. Experimentation is really important here at SAIC, so it's nice just to be able to have that freedom. But further back on the right, we have an extruder. So if you don't know what an extruder is, it's basically a 3D printer, but for clay. You can build things in maybe a 3D modeling software like Rhino or CAD, and actually print it out using that extruder. And once it's out, it's an actual physical thing. So it's actual clay, and you can model it with your hands and adjust it and keep working with it that way. And all along the right side is just more storage for all of our student projects. But the room to the right is the hand throwing station. So we do have actual wheels for our students to use. We actually have one of our intro classes completely dedicated to that tool. It's called Ceramics Wheel Throwing Fundamentals. And for our intro courses for ceramics, they're based off of your exposure to ceramics maybe previously. Ceramics is something that a lot of high schools will have. So sometimes students will come in and they'll have different kind of understandings of it. So one of those is Introduction to Clay. And that's just like a very basic, like if you've never done ceramics before, you can take that class. But something that might be slightly more advanced is ceramics, or Introduction to Ceramic Sculpture. And this last space over here is where we would do, we call it the hand building station. Basically, if you're working with any larger projects or you just don't need like throwing tables, for example, you can work in this space over here. For our large scale projects, you actually don't have to buy any of the clay. Clay is provided for the entire ceramics department completely for free. That's mostly because we actually have courses where we will teach you how to make your own clays as well as plaster. So those students kind of make the supply for most of the department. Some of the other courses that we have available in ceramics are the human figure in 3D, colors of ceramics, 20,000 years of clay, which is more of a history influence course. We are more kind of like spending time in the Art Institute, for example, and looking at how ceramics is kind of played into culture historically. But we also do have advanced studio courses where it's kind of similar to our other departments in the way where you're just making projects that are for your studio practice. They're entirely self-directed. You would be working in a separate space and just getting feedback from your teachers routinely. So that is the ceramics department. Casey, if you would like to wrap it up.
Sure, thank you, Nicholas. Just give me one moment. Apologies for the delay there. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for taking us on a tour of SAIC's ceramics department. If you have questions about the school or about the ceramics department, you can visit our website at saic.edu. If you have questions more about the application process or about the school in general, you can also visit our admissions page, saic.edu/admissions. You can also call our office at 312-629-6100 or send us an email at ugadmis@saic.edu. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.